Oh gosh, I don't even know how to start this thing. Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you stumbled upon it. Basically, it's been 11 and a half years since my double jaw surgery, and I just thought I would pop on here to check in because some things have changed a little bit since I last made a video, which I last posted a video actually about 10 years ago because there were some other things that happened after the actual surgery itself, and like a follow-up minor surgery at a year and a half after the initial surgery, and just some stuff. But maybe you've been on my page and you've followed my jaw surgery process. Maybe you haven't, but you find yourself in the position of, getting jaw surgery in the near-ish future, and it's kind of a scary thing. So can be, at least. It can also be a super exciting thing. Very stressful, a lot to it. I just thought I would pop on here because it's such a huge part of my personal journey, and I know some people still comment on my videos, and I always appreciate hearing your stories and your your situation and how jaw surgery has related to your life. And I just think it's really important that we do support one another and continue to have a nice community, because I know I had my double jaw surgery when I was 18, and I was ecstatic to get it done because there was a lot of insecurity around having an underbite for me, and it just really did change my life. So but basically, I guess I'll back up, and I'm looking, I have some notes here because I haven't done this in a while, and to be honest, I feel kind of awkward sitting here looking at a phone again, recording myself. But basically, I knew I was gonna have jaw surgery from a pretty young age. My mom had it, my mom's sister had it, my sister had it, my cousin had it, a whole bunch of people in my family were genetically, set up for growing an underbite, basically a more full lower jaw and a not so developed upper jaw. And if you look back at my videos, you'll see that I had more of a crescent moon shaped profile. Again, kind of like that sunken in face look. So they broke both my upper jaw and my lower jaw and moved them both forward quite a bit. My lower jaw was moved forward about 5.5 millimeters. My upper, oh, I'm so sorry, I said that backwards. My lower jaw was moved back 5.5 millimeters, and my upper jaw was moved forward, I think about 4.5, based on reviewing my old footage and figuring it out. And then they also took part of my lower jaw, a part that was not crucial to function, and moved it to my cheekbones to help supplement that sunken in look and give me a bit more of a, I don't know, filled in profile. So again, that'll happen in May of 2010. It is currently October 2021, which is crazy. I'm sure the rest of the world's still like wrapping my head around what year it actually is. So I knew for a long time, based on my family's history and having that lower jaw, that jaw surgery was in my future, and I could not wait for it because, again, like I said, I've always been a shy human. I was a shy kid. I'm still a shy adult, and having that underbite and that level of that, just otherness, as we all experience some form of feeling like we don't belong or something's wrong with us, or something like that, it really played heavily into my confidence as a person. And teenage years are rough for every single human, no matter what you're thinking. There's always more going on behind the scenes. So that was huge for me, that being super shy, and then also having that underbite and feeling incredibly insecure. Never wanted to smile, would always take pictures holding my jaw, tried to just minimize it as much as possible. And I know a lot of people who see this page and comment on the videos are also feeling a level of discomfort with themselves, or how they're viewed through the lens of society and those around them. And basically I wanted to get on here and just say that you're not alone. And I get kind of emotional thinking about it because it was so hard to just feel that weight of otherness, again, that so many people feel in one way or another. So, but you continue to grow as a person, right? And have new experiences, and your confidence builds, and you just know you're so much more than whatever that otherness is. And it's part of you, right? It makes you beautiful, it makes you unique, it makes you incredibly human. So yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place, but I wanted to pop in here and just like reinforce there's a community of people out there who have gone through similar situations and can relate to what you're going through. And I hope you find those people, not just online, but in person. But the internet's amazing, and that's what I did when I was feeling alone. I dug into the internet and found individuals who shared their jaw surgery stories. So please check out my page if you're interested in learning more about all the nitty-gritty of what happened with my procedure 11 years ago, because I break it down in way more detail and in depth. But basically, just like briefly go through things again, looking at my notes. I had braces for like 2 to 3 years when I was 13 through 15-ish, to straighten my teeth and prepare me for jaw surgery down the road. And they tried to see if there's other procedures to mitigate my underbite, but at a certain point it just became pretty clear that jaw surgery was the only way to really correct my underbite situation. I'll talk about this in a second. I've got kind of like an open bite situation now, but it was to the point where my lower jaw was far enough forward that I could stick my tongue through that gap there. That's me pushing my jaw forward right now, by the way. But basically that's where I was at. It's like a class 3. Now these phrases are coming back, but it's been a long time and lots happened, so I can't remember everything. You'll have to forgive me. But anyway, it became clear that I was going to need that surgery, and they measured my height every year to just see when my body would stop growing. When I say they, I mean my orthodontist. Measured my height every year to see when I would stop growing taller, because that would help them determine when was the right time for my jaw surgery to take place. Because if you have jaw surgery and then your body is still in that growth period, growing taller and just developing, it may shift your results. I'm not a doctor, so please get that advice directly from your team of doctors, but basically that's what I remember them telling me. And when I was getting close to 18, they were like, yep, you're in the clear. Let's move forward with getting a surgery on the schedule. It did take about a year for us to get my insurance company to approve the procedure. Obviously, very expensive procedure. I'm here in the United States. It was a lot of give and take from what I remember. My parents mostly handled it, to be honest. So, but I do know that we were denied at first, or, it was like, needed more evidence, more support. And we dug up some speech therapy documents from when I was in elementary school, because I couldn't pronounce my R's and my W's very well with certain words. And it was noted on there that it could be due to the position of my jaw. And with some of that documentation from speech therapy, they approved it. So I had double jaw surgery again in May of 2010. I did have to get my wisdom teeth out first, and I had to get braces put back on. 2 things that needed to be done. So I got braces put on like 5 months before the surgery. Had my wisdom teeth maybe like 2 months before the surgery, wisdom teeth removed, because any sort of movement with braces and removing actual teeth is gonna cause strain on this area, and strain on the bone, and like all those things. And you just want to be setting yourself up for success when you're going into, again, something as major as double jaw surgery. So I had a couple things to get out of the way before I could go into the surgery: insurance approval, braces, wisdom teeth removal, and school. I was in high school. I did end up going to an alternative high school. This part does not even need to be relevant, but I wasn't doing great in school. I was, again, self-confidence so low, didn't want to go to school, was so embarrassed of myself and my face, and like, you know, again, that's like exterior stuff, but it starts to weigh on you, especially if you've encountered levels of bullying, you know, and I say bullying, but sometimes you may not consider a little joke, something like that, to be bullying, but it really does build up for certain people, and for everyone, really, as tough as your skin may be, that stuff accumulates and it doesn't feel good. So another point of this video is just, again, we all have some level of us that puts us in the other column, and that otherness, you know, factor about ourselves. And I just want to encourage us all to be mindful with how we interact with one another, because something that may seem like a minor joke and no big deal, it starts to weigh on you, or weigh on the people who hear it. And also, it doesn't feel good to be delivering those things, I think, and the whole situation. We can all just, you know, we're always learning and growing and trying to be more kind. But basically, because I was at an alternative high school, it did give me a little bit more flexibility to get my surgery at the time that I did, was my whole point. So I wasn't at your standard high school. I was just at one that was a little more free-flowing structure, because I needed to get some credits in. Yeah, basically had my surgery 3 days after I graduated high school, and it was huge. I was so excited. I was ecstatic. I ended up arriving at the hospital at 5:30 a.m. That was when I was scheduled to arrive. Got, you know, set up for the pre-operation. I don't even know what to call that, pre-op. I really don't know. Again, not a doctor. But they drew my blood, put an IV in. I have a very vague memory of them putting me under, like just the, you know, the vaguest possible glimpse of a memory of them being like, I don't even know now at this point if it's something I've applied, but like count back from 5 or something. And then I was out, and then I, you know, the earliest memory I remember from coming to after the procedure, which lasted a long time. It was a long procedure. Don't know the exact hours, but if you watch my before and after video, you'll see that my dad is in the waiting room, and it's like 7:30 a.m. And then when they're finally wheeling me out of post-op situation, like the recovery room, it's 4 p.m. So that's a good chunk of time, and it was a long surgery. And then again, there was recovery room situation happening, and then I got wheeled into my ICU room. But while I was in the recovery room, this always speaks volumes to me, because I don't remember writing it, but I still have the piece of paper. But basically, they gave me a piece of paper and a pen when I was waking up for my surgery, and I was in the recovery room, and, you know, to ask for water or say I'm uncomfortable or whatever. And basically, I've scribbled on it, thank you, am I pretty, and just some other like illegible words. But just the fact that that was my first thought, am I pretty, you know, and to express gratitude because it's something that I had wanted for so long, just speaks so like loudly to me, you know, of what that procedure meant at that time in my life. And even, you know, today, if I hadn't had it done or anything like that. Some people have commented on that video, the before and after, being like, oh, interesting song choice, you know, You Are Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, and the lyrics, you are beautiful no matter what they say, all this really wonderful, beautifully, you know, poetic, lovely stuff in that song. And but here I am putting it over a video where I've chosen to have a surgery done. It's an elective procedure, really, right? I mean, it did affect my speech, but chose to have double jaw surgery because I, again, was not feeling comfortable and confident with myself, and I hated smiling, hated it, absolutely hated it. You know, and you can tell when someone's truly smiling, full emotion, they're happy, they're expressing joy, and other times it's just like they're going through the motions. They've put their face in that position, but their eyes say something else, or their body language says something else. That was essentially me in every single photo. So, and there's so much behind that too, of course, right? So yeah, I did not feel necessarily beautiful at that time in my life. I did in some ways, but I also, there's so much going on with the baggage of having that underbite, that I'm very happy I had the procedure, because it did allow me to just feel more comfortable. It's who I am. And yeah, I did, you know, alter my face to get to that point. It was so important to me to remove that. It felt like a block, like I couldn't smile with my underbite. I couldn't feel comfortable. And again, I was 18, so there's a lot going on when you're around that age, a lot of peer pressure, social type stuff. It absolutely helped me build my confidence to have the procedure done. And I was very fortunate. I had, oh, getting windy. I had almost no pain post-surgery because they cut all the nerve endings. All this stuff is in my other videos. Yeah, so, but almost no pain. I had that ice pack around my face, which was great. You know, I was on an all liquid diet for about 10 weeks, I think like 9.5 weeks or something, while my mouth was rubber banded shut, completely numb. My cheeks, my nose, my upper lip. My upper lip was the last thing to come back. Couple of like tidbits about recovery. They tell you not to go in the sun because that can impact healing and decrease or increase your chance for like prolonged inflammation and scarring and all that stuff. I do have more swelling on the left side of my face than I do on the right, even 11 years later. I don't know what that's from. I don't know if that's just, you know, like the way my face was before, or if it's post-surgery. I feel like it happened after the surgery, but it's just the way, again, people are uniquely beautiful. And so, but something to keep in mind, because I don't believe I followed those rules, you know, to the T. I could have worn sunblock on my face more. I could have massaged out this area, you know, both sides where all the scar tissue was. I could have eaten better, but again, 18, I lived off milkshakes pretty much the last 2/3 of my liquid diet, and I mean like purely milkshakes, not even like protein or powdered vitamins or electrolytes added. I don't know how you know, that's just what I did. So if you're in a place where you can be and want to be more mindful about that, probably is better for you. But you know, you're not going to do everything perfectly, and that's okay. I hope you communicate with your doctors, communicate with your family, your friends, your support system about what you need, right? Staying hydrated, you know, avoiding the sun as much as you can. Always wear sunscreen, regardless of your jaw surgery status or not. It's important. What else? Yeah, wear your retainers. That's important. So I did not wear my retainers, and I say that in my old videos that for some stupid, honestly it feels stupid because it's like, why would I just not wear them? But you know, again, people do all kinds of things. They're like, oh, it's not a big deal, and then over time it's like, oh, that was why I needed to do whatever that thing was. So I wish I wore them, but ultimately, you know, I can speak okay, I can chew my food, I'm all right. But there was some post-surgery growth that happened that perhaps me wearing my retainers regularly would have prevented. But yeah, after my surgery, my orthodontist, after recovery, during recovery really, you know, my orthodontist wanted to leave my braces on for a few more months, longer than he had originally suggested, but you can't predict those things, right? Like, he was thinking maybe it would only be 4 months after my surgery or whatever he said, but then based on the status of my face, he was like, no, let's leave him on for 3 or 4 more months. I was 18, I was going to college. I was like, no, I'm leaving this behind. I'm done with this whole procedure. I want them off, which again was not what he suggested. And I do think my orthodontist, I think he's still practicing, I'm not positive, is wonderful at what he does. I think he was right. You know, I think it was okay that I changed plans, but I think it probably would have been better for my overall recovery if I just kept those braces on and kept things really secure with my teeth while those final healing stages were in place. But kind of rambling through my words here. But basically I went to a couple other orthodontists, got their opinion, and they were like, yeah, take it off, it's okay. Of course, they had not been following my jaw surgery situation since I was 7, like my original orthodontist had. And you know, he's really kind of an expert in what he does, and I do wish I followed his advice. But I followed the advice of the other orthodontist and I got my braces off. And then they gave me 2 removable retainers, one for the upper jaw, one for the lower. And again, I didn't really wear them. Freshman year of college, I was not as dedicated to my face, my teeth, as I could have been. And I think my landlord is coming around the corner, I'm not positive. But so there was some movement in my teeth, you know, over the next 2, 3, 4 years, maybe like 3 years after my 4 years after my original jaw surgery. There was enough movement where it was like, hey, stuff's a little different now. My bite is a little open, you know, you can see that space there. So basically they think there was some settling kind of my lower jaw, and maybe it grew a little bit more, maybe I grew a smidge taller. The details are not confirmed because it could have been caused by a couple things: retainer, not wearing my retainer, growing taller, just natural like settling of my jaw. I don't know, but it happened and I didn't follow the rules, so maybe that's why. But they ended up, you know, I got a permanent retainer at some point, permanent lower retainer, permanent upper, and they also made me a special acrylic night guard basically to wear on my lower jaw, so my lower jaw could kind of relax a bit at night, because it is pushing up against my upper teeth. Trying to show you that, probably looking weird. I said that whole thing backwards. Let's go back. They gave me a acrylic mouth guard for my upper jaw that allowed my lower jaw to come forward, not the other way around. Anyways, but again, kind of rambling. Just wanted to pop on this video to be like, hey, this is where I'm at. I sleep with an upper acrylic night guard, and that lets my lower jaw come forward. And then I also now sleep with a lower retainer that's removable because I broke the permanent one. Those permanent retainers seem to stick great for lots of people. For me, I've broken both my upper permanent and my lower permanent, so I don't know what I'm doing, biting carrots the wrong way, something, I don't know. But be careful with them if you have them, because they are expensive. So yeah, so got some things to keep my mouth, my teeth still in place. All right, well, I think that's all I'm gonna say in this video. I'm not really planning to make another video, but if I can make one that's more you know, concise and specific with certain questions or whatever, please let me know. Comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear from people who like also had their procedure 10 years ago-ish, you know, and how you're doing, how your teeth are. I hope you're doing well. I hope you truly have embraced and feel, you know, as beautiful as you are, because we all are so incredibly uniquely beautiful, no matter what, right? No matter what. That's what's so magnificent about being human, is that we're all unique. It's what's so magnificent about the world, right? Everything around us. I study animals for a living, so for me in particular, I'm like, bring on the uniqueness, especially now. But yeah, just thinking about that, even when the level of confidence I had pre-surgery and how it's grown over the years. And again, part of that I think is just me growing up as a human, you know, stepping into my 20s, and I'll be 30 in 6 months. So it's been a bit since I've had my jaw surgery. But when I was 18, that summer after my jaw surgery, I even got a tattoo on my ankle that said smile, because I had just gone so long feeling incredibly insecure smiling. And as humans, all animals really, but of course we communicate verbally, but we also send so many nonverbal signals to one another, and smiling is part of that. And when you feel like you cannot smile, because as soon as you do, there's just a wave of, oh goodness, oh gosh, like I, you know, don't like how I look when I smile, because you've heard that from the world around you, that you look weird, you look strange, you look like the character from Scream, like, you know, all the jokes that have compiled on top of you, it just crushes your smile in that moment. So again, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support over the years, and I love that we can be there for one another through this portal, and I hope you're all doing well, and yeah.